Welcome, Scorpio. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a reading for you. This is not specifically a blue full moon in Sagittarius reading, although that occurred 3 or 4 days ago. This is acknowledging the deep resonance of that occurrence, particularly with the lead up to that full moon of at least a couple of weeks and its resounding resonance throughout the next few days. This is a major reset for individuals around the globe to take in much of the change that has occurred very rapidly in the beginning of this year, and to prepare for some fast movement, quick movement over beginning in the second half of June. So this feels like a kind of bubble of sacred space for many of you that you can enjoy and indulge in terms of allowing yourself to be open, vulnerable with yourself, to allow answers or direction or guidance to come to you, to not chase those answers. So you're enjoying this pace in the moment, which will pick up very rapidly soon. So Scorpio, I did your reading yesterday along with Cancer, and I messed it up somehow. So I'm doing it again today. And I do feel like occasionally it's good when this happens because it's for me. I'm still recovering from illness, so I am still a little bit neglectful of some of the details of the reading. So in part, trying to simplify it, trying to strip it down, and they still end up being longer than ever. So my apologies in advance. Your present energies, the Ace of Swords and the Five of Swords. There's definitely some exposure or truth you are exposing. The Swords is speaking to your articulate abilities, your knowledge, your wisdom, your search for answers, your ability to tell a story that is deeply personal, that has been deeply wounding. However, you have navigated a lot of challenges by selecting and prioritizing those that were most important to you. And it seems clear to me that your gift for language, for words, for speaking, for singing, are things that always seem to rise to the top throughout various experiences you've had throughout life. Something about the word always comes to the top. And this has helped to facilitate some deeper story, some monumental truth that you are in the process of sharing, putting out there. In the past, the Seven of Wands is describing really a way in which you have navigated for some time in a way that allows you to prioritize the sacred space to do this work. So you have really worked hard at clear boundaries out of love for and priority of your own work, of exercising your own gift. And this may have been hard because of the kind of conditioning many of us experience in life, in which your role, your assignment has been to care for others, to attend to the needs of others. And this is not any kind of insidious oppression exactly that you've experienced. This really is the way that you exercise any gift. Teaching, for instance, is a way in which we are constantly giving to others. We're constantly fashioning curriculum, lessons, presentations, information in a way that will serve those that look to us for guidance. So there is a habit here that has contributed to your ability to articulate your story, perhaps for you to develop a process that allowed you to do what had to be done to take care of others and still to sequester some part of that or record that process. Find space in that process to develop this particular talent of yours. In the future, the Queen of Wands and the Four of Cups. The Queen of Wands talks about this really beautiful place that you have arisen to that is clarifying what you desire. You're rising into the way that you are putting this all together. You're not rushing out and demanding attention in a very external way. Instead, you are sharing what is needed to identify the assistance you need to develop this project further. And the Four of Cups is telling me that you you have long established this creative process. And I just feel that this is particularly about a creator, those of you that have a particular creative agenda of some sort. But you have long established a process of exercising a gift of yours, creating something that is supported, that identifies the appropriate support for you along the way, of keeping support around you, of keeping encouragement, intimate encouragement, protection, safety, a place to share your vulnerability as a process to develop this voice. But as you've attracted the support you need, identified that, drawn others in to help you, nothing gets by you that isn't approved by you. So you have to turn over every aspect of the assistance and support you get. And I'm thinking very clearly of any creative process, right? Various stages require that you check in, that you work with, collaborate with your supporters in order to shape that assistance in the way that best shows or exemplifies your talent or story. But here I feel that despite the other experts, artists, creators that you work with, you spend a lot of time turning over what works according to your supporters and what feels right to you. And this is requiring a lot of space, a lot of time, and a lot of emotional work. This is really the foundation of a creative and very productive process. So I'm going to read the Oracle card, and I have the Pride card. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. There's a whole story here about your family. I do believe that something you're explicating through your creative work, through something you're building or creating, has roots in the love you experienced in your family. And family, I'm drawing very broadly. This can be your immediate family, family of origin, your cultural family, your ancestral lineage. But there was a tremendous amount of love. No matter how much limitation or tradition was centered in your home, because I'm also sensing this very traditional home life, traditional parents that offered you their heart through whatever means they had. Now, I'm not seeing poverty. I'm not seeing deprivation. I am seeing a kind of healthy, normal life not one necessarily that was privileged, but one that was common, is common enough, in which everything was done with love and concern to offer you the best that they had. And in many cases, that was somewhat limited given the direction that you moved in, but you feel absolutely grounded in the love and the capacity, the heart of your family to invest you with principles that you are still to this day proud of and are an integral part of this process. I pulled an outcome card, but we'll look at that later. If this is resonating for you now, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I really appreciate all of you that are present with me, that support me in all the ways that you do, and that are patient with me when I get sick. So for the Seven of Wands, I'm clarifying with the Lovers, and one more card. The Seven of Swords, or the Seven of Swords, not again. Seven of Swords and the Lovers, wow. So I do feel there have been a lot of difficult choices you've made. Many of them have been through your partners. I say through your partnerships because I believe for many of us, our particularly earliest choices revolve around our connection to others, partnerships we choose, we develop, and this was a big commitment for you. This feels like you were mirroring your family traditions in choosing your partners. However, there was a lot that wasn't seen or understood about who you were at the time that you were making some of these choices, and ways in which your family traditionally kind of avoided a particular set of talents or skills that you had. And as a result of that, you may have avoided them or deprioritized them as important to you. And this feels to me like critical thinking. This feels to me like uh, the way in which you develop your affinity with words, language, speaking, singing, speaking out. I'm not saying that you were not encouraged or recognized for your facility in that regard. I am saying that it was de-emphasized as an important direction for your life early on. And as a result of that, you made some choices following the pattern of partnership that seemed to compete with the development of your talents. In the present, the Ace of Swords and the Five of Swords is clarified by the Ten of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. Whoa. So you have really just, I feel like you've thrown away the book on holding yourself back, staying committed to any belief or practice that does not allow you to center your own gift. You're very clear that no matter how much you love, were supported by a family, you understand that your path was very different. And I do feel that you long broke with a way in which you hid or subsumed your creative expression. It's not necessarily literature, language, the word, teaching, articulation, but it could well have to do with the distribution of information, undoubtedly. And it can have something to do with faith. So I definitely see this willingness to let this old set of principles, expectations, releasing those, surrendering those has opened up. Of course, this can take a long time. Let's just say that. This is not something that happens overnight, and it's something, healing is something we're always doing. But you have broken through, you have surrendered, you have allowed yourself to release any attachment to the beliefs, not the people, to the beliefs that were limiting to you. And in that place, you have recognized that the investment in your skills, whatever those skills are, has opened up a whole new lifestyle and portal of opportunity for you. And I do believe that's where we currently are. You are busy expressing yourself, sharing what you know, sharing your truth, telling your story. And you continue to very deftly strategize through a myriad of challenges that exist in the world to pick your battles, to pick those challenges that you are best equipped to deal with. And that is part how you have produced what feels like a fresh body of work. And in the future, the Queen of Cups and the Four of Cups in the future. So we've got Cups in the future, which is beautiful to see after so many swords. And I have, two. The Nine of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. Nice. Yeah, you're definitely your own person here. You value greatly your independence, your ability to take care of yourself, the investments you've made in yourself, as you really have surrendered to your imaginative, creative voice, your playful energy, your ability to dream in the most expansive ways possible. But they're all a part of managing and investing in sustaining this cycle of productive, enjoyable life that you've produced for yourself. What you're producing, you enjoy because you've managed it. You've taken a full and independent hand in creating that. You enjoy the garden of your life. You luxuriate in what you've been able to create, and it does not consume you. You understand you've created resources that can be shared through your creative process in any way that you desire. But you take a very sovereign approach to what it is you have built, what it is you're creating, really tapped into your desire, the power of your determination. The outcome is the Page of Wands. And I like this because it talks about you being new, you stepping into new, this conviction, this practical, productive sense of your life and the investments the investing in your life that has been productive for you is really about stepping into a new sense of self. It doesn't matter your age. This new sense of self also defines a lifestyle, a social environment that is intent on enjoying all the good things in your life. And I pull the Six of Wands and the Ace of Swords again. So we have a lot of truth and power, a lot of victory coming through for you. This is all about your success in this new kind of role, positionality in your life. The Six of Wands talks about your collaboration with others, the assistance that you've been seeking, the support that you have identified to help you to shape your products or projects. You understand your role. You take ownership of that process, but you also understand that you must do your part and allow others to do theirs. And in that way, you are experiencing a lot of success among those you work with. So this is really about success in a creative, collaborative, co-creative process, which is leading you to victory. Something is produced that tells your story, that articulates your voice, that puts ideas out there into the world that need to be exposed, that shows an alternative way, that speaks your truth in a way that opens up and illuminates the path for others. I'm going to finish this reading with a Language of Flowers card, and I've pulled the wisteria. How lovely. The key word being longevity. My dear Scorpios, you are long-lived people. Plan for and take the dedicated path. Seems to me to be a confirmation of the path you're on, Scorpio. So honored to deliver this message to you. I hope it's insightful, helpful. Until next time, namaste.